Hi there. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm David Lowe, and I'm one of the organizers of the Friday Peace Vigil.
And what organization do you represent?
Not really any organization. We came together as a Friday Peace Vigil after 2001, 9/11, when we started bombing Afghanistan. It was just a group of people decided that there needs to be a public presence opposing the new war. At that time it was Afghanistan, and we started in November of 2001.
And you've been doing it ever since?
Yes.
Was this the original spot you started at?
No, we started at the Federal Building, and we later moved here.
Excellent. And then, do you think there's a significance between this peace vigil and the holidays? Obviously, we wish people peace on earth at this time. Is it more significant now than any other time?
I haven't really noticed it being more significant. The main thing we've tried to do is be a consistent presence. So there's not a whole lot of us here, but to be a consistent presence saying, no, we don't accept a state of constant war, I think is important. And it's more important to do that in season and out of season. So as long as we're going to be in constant war, I think it's important for people to be saying, no, we don't approve of that.
What do you think about the recent news that Trump wants to pull out of Syria and have our troops out of Afghanistan?
I think it's great news. I think it's, most of what Trump does I oppose, but in this particular case, I think it's great. Now, obviously what I would like him to do is just make a proclamation that we won the whole war in the Middle East and get all American troops, planes, bases out of the Middle East, because we're not a force for good there. But a partial withdrawal from Syria is great. A partial withdrawal from Afghanistan is great. But it's a first step. The end result really needs to be our withdrawal from the Middle East.
Excellent. What about the significance of, I think it was putting the American embassy in Jerusalem in, the Palestine-Israeli conflict? Was that what do you think of that move by Donald Trump?
Well, I think it's a very sad move. I think of, the people that we really need to support, and I think the Palestinians come near the top of the list of the people that have been oppressed, the people that really are refugees in the true sense of the word. Most of them have been pushed into smaller and smaller areas, and it's obvious who's doing the pushing and who's being pushed. And to reward the occupying power by moving the embassy to Jerusalem is just the wrong signal to send. I think there's a way that we can try to bring peace to that region of the world, but involves being an honest broker between both sides, and the move our embassy to Jerusalem is just not the right thing to do.
Right. And what about Congress's move to stop the bombing in Yemen, or stop supplying arms to Saudi Arabia for...
Yeah, that's a great move. We have no interest in Yemen that we need to be over there engaged in a war about. Yemen has not tried to attack us, and all, that I've read show that it's a civil war, and it needs to be the Yemenis themselves that resolve it. The more you have these proxy countries come in, Saudi Arabia or the United States or whoever, then it becomes an insolvable situation, just like in Syria, where if the only people fighting are proxies, Russia, the United States, Saudi Arabia, or whoever, they're willing to fight to the last Syrian is dead. And the only people that will ever really solve the problem are going to be the Syrians themselves, and all the proxy powers that are using them as pawns need to get out.
Excellent. And Do you see any hope for peace in the future?
Not really. I see a darkening of the world. I see a lot of right-wing rulers coming to power in various places. We just had a bad election in Brazil. We've had Hungary, the Philippines. All these right-wing leaders are not out to make the world a better place. They're not out to, you know, bring compassion to their foreign policies or to the borders or to open their arms to refugees. So I don't see a lot of hope in the future. I guess all I can, you know, see is that in each country where this is happening, people need to stand up on a consistent basis and say, no, we don't approve. You know, I don't know, it's not the answer, but it's part of it.
So, are you inspired by the Yellow Vest protests in France right now?
I haven't read enough about them, I'm sorry to say. I wish I had it, but I haven't.
Okay, well, thank you very much for talking to us.
Okay, all right.